Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 86 of Gains, and this one is titled Dinner Date. You got into the passenger seat, and Kiri opened the back door for him and Bakugo to get in the back. Oh, Mum, this is Bakugo. He's a really good friend of mine too, you said, glancing back as Bakugo slid across the back seat to make room for Kiri beside him. Ah, your mum said, looking up at him in the rearview mirror. Yes, I remember you, she said, and then left it hanging, and you wondered what she remembered about him. Was it that first time when you got your school uniform, or when he stepped up in your dad's face? You made a mental note to ask her about it later. For the first half of the ride to the place, it was just you and your mum talking, with Kiri listening in and adding his 2 cents, but Bakugo was very quiet in the back seat. A few times you tried to engage him in conversation, but he only gave a 1 or 2 word reply, and you felt like something was off. Does he feel like he's a third wheel or something? You worried. Your mum had opted to go to the Waffle House, which you thought she would have, as it appeared to be a favourite of hers, but you weren't really sure if it was actually a favourite of hers, or was it just that she liked it because it used to be your favourite? You'd have to suss that one out as well. Kiri and your mum were chatting about something as she pulled into the parking lot and then parked the car, and pretty soon you were all getting out of the car and heading to the doors of the place. While Kiri and your mum walked on slowly ahead, you hung back a little bit and sidled up next to Bakugo. Hey, are you okay? You asked him in a soft tone. Yeah, he grunted without looking at you. No, honestly, you're a lot quieter than usual. What's up? You probed. I'm fine, he replied, and you scrunched your brows. If you're going to be a sook, then at least tell me if there's something I can do. You replied back with a little bit of bite in your tone. If there's something wrong, I'll tell you. I know how to use my words. Now back off. I'm working, he growled, and you gave him a surprised look. What do you mean? You asked him. You wanted us to watch your mum, right? I'm doing my part, he grunted, and then walked a little faster to get to the doors for everyone. He got there just before your mum or Kiri, and grabbed the handle and threw the door open. Oh, thanks, bro. Sorry, I was talking too much, Kiri apologised. He had been chatting up a storm with your mum, and completely forgot to reach for the door in front of him. Bakugo grunted, watching as your mum struggled to step through the door, while needing to hold onto the frame to steady herself. She was already perspiring terribly, and her laboured breathing was very obvious. Even you could hear her clearly, and you were still a little way behind the group. Do you see how she's struggling? You whispered as you stepped past Bakugo to enter the place. I do. You don't need to keep reminding me, he said lowly. Okay, probably best that I just let him do his thing, and I'll check back in with him after we get back to the dorms, you thought, as you stepped in after Kiri and your mum. As you suspected, she picked the closest seating area to the door and sat down heavily. He looks good, she said, trying not to breathe so hard as she picked up a menu and passed one to Kiri. You took a seat opposite to her, and Bakugo sat next to you, with Kiri choosing to sit right beside her. What do you recommend? He asked politely as he looked over the menu. Oh, honey, there are so many good things here, she said breathlessly, using the menu to try and fan herself a little. This was Yin's favourite place when she was still home with me, she said with a slightly sad smile at you. Honey bun, why don't you tell the boys what some good options are? Okay, you said with a smile, feeling like she was pushing the conversation back to you so she could take a chance to recover. You opened the menu and looked down some of the food items so you could give specific names of things. I guess it just depends on what you like, you offered to the boys. I'm up for anything, Kiri replied with a giant warm smile, and you smiled back. Okay, what if we got a few to try? We can get some different dishes and share them, you offered. With everyone in agreement of this, you talked through a few of the dishes and selected some that you wanted to try, but Bakugo had other ideas. Which one do you want? He asked your mum, point blank. The guy hadn't said anything pretty much since the time you all got in the car, so his sudden question threw you all, especially your mum. Oh, well, Yin's favourite is, she started to say. I asked for your favourite, he said bluntly, staring her down. Mine? Oh, honey, I don't even know. There's so much to choose from, she tutted. Pick one you want, he said, sitting back in his chair and slinging an arm over the backrest of your seat. You felt like this was a bit of a power move on his part and looked to Kiri to see if he was looking left out, but he seemed to be just as into the question as Bakugo was. Oh, I don't know, your mum said, and you could feel her panic from there. It's okay, Mum, you don't have to... Yes, she does, Bakugo said quickly, and you looked across into his red eyes. You tried to communicate with him with just a few looks, but he wasn't budging on his demand for her to choose with her own wants and desires in mind. So your mum finally picked something, and he accepted that and added it to the mental order. Then Kiri called for a waitress, and you placed the order. You didn't know what angle Bakugo was taking here, but decided to trust his process. It seemed like he was well ahead of the situation, so you went with it and made small talk while you waited for the food. "Oh, so I had my, training today," you said to the group. "Oh, how did it go?" Kiri asked you excitedly. I'm not sure, to be honest. I kept getting zapped by the buzzer," you said sadly. "Same as the first time I did the test. Looks like I haven't improved at all." "Oh, my baby girl, don't be down about it. I'm sure it was a mistake of the machine. You know how they can be," your mum said encouragingly. "What if it is a problem of Yin's and she isn't strong enough?" Bakugo said pointedly, playing devil's advocate. Your mum wasn't having any of it and defended you strongly. "No, not my Yin. She's definitely grown stronger. I know it. I can see it in my beautiful girl," she said, giving you a giant smile. You smiled bashfully back, loving that she was always in your corner, but at the same time you could see that there was a vein of denial in her ways. Mum can't accept when anyone she loves is to blame. She's always deflecting the blame. Is this part of the problem? You wondered. Oh, it very well could be. Stay tuned for chapter 87 coming tomorrow. I'll see you then.